Hi superstars, welcome back on board. So today's tutorial is going to be based on this round neck broader white garment. So that is what today's tutorial is going to be based on. So this is the adult version. So continue watching. If you find this video meaningful, please don't forget to hit the like button. So this is the button I used. That's what I'm showing you. That is the round neck. Then this inside, please do well to weave your clothes. I'm showing you the inside weaving. Make sure your work is very neat, and the ironing too is very important with the packaging, so that you don't end up having a loose inside. You understand? So please give it a perfect finishing. Thank
I'll
you.
be using 4 yards of white garments for this particular tutorial. So continue watching. This part I already did a recording. In fact, at the end of the day, I did not know that my mic was off. Anyway, this is me doing a voiceover now. So the length of the white garment, the person's length is 61 inches. So that's 61. I first measured out 60, then added 4 inches and made it 64. So that means you'll be adding extra 3 inches to the main length of the person. So I added 3 inches. So this is the front part I'm cutting out first. I just folded it into 2 here. So I'm trying to arrange it. So the wideness of the person, that's the chest, is 46. So that 46 is 11 and a half. That's divided into 4. So I added 1 inch and made it 12 and a half inches. So I'm trying to measure out the 12 and a half inches all round till it reach down. So I'm trying to pin it down so that it doesn't shift. So mind you, this chest is not like fitted. White garment for male has to be wide. So in case the person's chest is like 40 inches when you measured it, that's the actual chest, normal chest. You have to make it like wider and make it like 44 inches instead of that 40 inches. You understand? So you have to add to it and make it wider. It must not be fitted like female own. You know, we female, we like fitted, but for male it must not be fitted. So that's just the explanation when you are measuring it. So what I'll just do next is just to cut it out. That's just it. So his neck is 18 inches. So I'm going to make in the wideness 3 inches first. Then I'll come down by 2.5 inches. So mind you, this is for the front. I've not cut out the back. So this shoulder slope, I'll come down by 1 inch. So I'm going to slant that. I can't find my French curve right now. Jeez. I would have loved to use my French curve. I think it will make my work easier. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and be using my free hand. So I'm going to do a circle from this 3 inches to the 2.5 that I marked here. Okay, so his shoulder is shoulder 10 inches. So that 10 inches, I'll add half inch to it as the sewing allowance. So his chest is 46 divided by 6 plus 2. So that's how I get the armor. 46 divided by 6 plus 2. So let me do that calculation and get back. Okay, guys, so I got 9 point something something. So I'm going to just conclude at 10. So it depends on the chest. So the chest divided by 6 plus 2. So I got 10 anyway. So if you have French curve, it's very advisable you use your French curve. But if you don't, you can also use your free hand like I'm doing. So from this shoulder, I'll come down by the half length, which is 18 and a half. His half length is 18 and a half, but I'm going to come up by 17 and a half. So the reason I'm coming up by 17 and a half is because I've not cut out the back, this one that I'm doing. Because I'll be cutting out the back, and the back is going to be like excess than the front. So the back is still going to be excess than the front. So what I'm cutting out is just the front. So I'm going to reduce the half length by 1 inch so that by the time I join the back, it's going to be exactly the 18 and a half inches. Just follow my method. You understand after sewing in case you don't get what I'm saying. So this part is if you don't want to add armhole, like if you don't want to do all this flap part, that's the gusset part. I have the tutorial on my channel. So if you want it, let me know in the comment section. So I'll send it to you, or you can just search for my videos. So you find it how to do the corset part. That corset part, you just cut it straight here. It will not have armhole, so you won't need to cut out the armhole. So it will just be straight. Then you add the sleeve, then you add your corset. So in case you want to use that method, I have it on my phone. In fact, I used it for the Cape Elder Brother that I sold. So you can search it for it, or if you want me to send it to you, you want me to send the link, please go ahead and ask in the comment section. So right now, if I want to cut out the flap, that's the side flap, I'll measure it from this under hole, from the armhole to where the white garment stopped. So this stopped at 52 and a half. I'll make it 53 or 53 and a half. So it's better is excess. So 53 and a half. This is the pocket. I'm just going to go ahead and notch that. Then I'll go ahead and cut this out. Okay, so this neck part, in case your own is not 18 inches, you can first cut out 3, but most of the time is 3 by 2.5. This one I may end up cutting it out more at the end of the day. So I would advise you cut the front and the back together first before cutting out the neck. Okay, so let me just quickly cut out the back. So this part, this is where I cut out before. Like this is the length, full length of the cloth. So this is the part that I cut out, the first part. So I'm going to cut out the second part. Just continue with the length. So I used 4 yards, mind you, for this particular person. So just make sure you get enough fabric. Don't manage fabric so that you don't end up spoiling clothes, please. Don't manage fabric. Okay. But I think 3.5 should be enough for this person's length. It depends though. When I'm done with it, I'll show you guys the remaining fabric so that you see if it is enough or not. If 3.5 will be enough or not. So if you want me to do a live video too on any of these clothes, please let me know the ones that you want me to do, because it's the ones that I have idea that I know about that I'll be teaching you guys. Like some of the people that are asking me, can you sew cashok? Can you sew this? I'm not into it for now. But once I get into it, of course, I will definitely come here and show my family how to make it. But for now, whatever you want me to do, like live, in case you don't understand all these videos that I'm doing, so I can come online and teach you direct so that you get it. So anytime you want me to come online, let me know in the comment section. So for now, sorry guys, I'm trying to arrange the clothes. It's a very shaky material. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so this is the upper part. So I'll just go ahead and add 3.5 inches to the back. So I'm going to make the back 3.5 inches longer than the front. So you do the same thing, despite the fact that I've cut out the slope. So I'll make sure it is exactly that 3.5 too. Okay, so this back too, I'll make it 3 inches wide. Then I'll come down by 1.5 inches. You know the front is 2.5 inches, so this back is 1.5 inches. Okay, so please pay attention to this part. So I'm going to remove half inch because this half inch is going to be the sewing allowance. So I'll start from after the half inch. Then I'll make it okay. So I have like 4.5 inches here, which is 9. So this one, so if I remove the half inch, I'll have I think 7.5. That's 3.75. So that's 7.5 plus 9. It's going to give me like 16.5. So it's not up to that 18 inches that I want for the neck. You get now. So now I'm going to make it a bit wider and make it 3.5 for the wideness instead of 3 inches. I hope you get. So if you want to get this neck, you can first cut out the front and the back, then do the measurement. Then do the measurement before you cut it out. Okay. So the shoulder is 10.5. So I said it's 10 inches plus half inch sewing allowance. I'm just going to like trace it out. So this armhole, I'm going to trace it out exactly as the front one. So mind you, the down part is going to be exactly the same. It's only the front part that I added 3.5 inches to. Okay. So now I'll make the wideness of this 3.5 instead of 3 inches. Like I'll just add half to this and cut it. So that it's going to be exactly that 18 inches that I actually want. Okay. So now I'll notch this part too. That's the pocket part. So now I'll just go ahead and measure 7.5 inches here. Because this back will slit it. I'll have to slant it. So the 7.5 inches, I'll measure it round. You can see this is the shoulder slope. So I must not go and measure it in a way that is going to slant to at the down part. It has to be straight. Ah, I wish my French curve was here. At least. So I'll cut 2 of this out now. Please, guys, if you haven't liked this video at this point, what are you still waiting for? Please support your girl and help me like this video. Thank you so much. Okay. So the next thing I'll do is just to place this on it. Okay. And then cut it out. So that's it. We are done with that. So now the flap. Remember I told you that the flap is 53.5 inches. So this is this. I just folded it into 2. Then I'm going to go ahead and fold this again like this. Okay. So I'm going to like slant it. It's going to be in a slanted way. So I'm going to measure the 53.5 inches. So right from here, I have the 53.5. So all the way to here. So this is the upper part. So make sure it's slanted like in a straight way. I wish this camera is going to reach that end part. Let me shift that. Okay. So this up down part, I made the wideness 9 inches for the down. So you can see the down 9 inches. So I want it wide so that the person will not be falling down when they are walking or when they want to cross the gutter. So that 9 inches. Why the upper part here, I make it 1 inch wide. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. I want to be fast with this work so that I can take advantage of this NEPA light. Okay. So I'm done cutting that. So after opening up, this is what I have for the two. Okay. So I hope you get it, guys. So now I want to cut out the sleeve. So his sleeve is 27. Yeah. So the sleeve, like I said, I measured it to this part. So if you're measuring the sleeve on the person's body, make sure you measure it to here. Don't measure it like, don't let it jump up and don't let it be too long. So I measured the person's arm. That's the arm, like here. I don't know if you can see that, like my arm. So I measured the person's arm and it gave me 20. So that 20, I'm just going to add 2.5 inches to it and make it 12.5 inches for the wideness of the sleeve. So I just love its excess so that by the time I finish sewing it, if there is need for me to cut out, I prefer cutting out than, clothes is not, clothes ends up not being enough. So it's better that way. So now the sleeve I folded two. So like I think you see me do that now. So I'm cutting out two sleeve at a time. 27 inches for the length. Then I'll add extra half inch. So this down, I'm going to make it 3 inches wide for the down. So some people make it 4, 5, 2. I don't know. It depends. But I prefer 3 inches. Yeah. Okay. So the length I'll be making 27.5 because I'll be adding half inch at the upper part here. So I'll measure that 27.5 straight. Then at this side, I'll come down by 4 inches. So that 4 inches, I'm just going to like trace it to this place. So let me just here 2 by 4. So I'm going to be curving here to come and meet here. So that's how I normally get my armhole. So the down part is 14 inches, 13. So I'll make it 14 anyway. So that's 7 plus 1 inch. So that's divided by 2 plus 1 for the round sleeve. That's 8 inches. So I'm just going to like trace this all the way down here and cut it out. So like I said before, in case you are doing the gusset one, you are not going to be cutting it in this way. This one does not have that gusset. That's why. So I notch this part and this part so that I'll know where to sew when I'm sewing it. Then the next one is the neck. So I also cut out the pocket. So I'm just going to fold this in two places like this, into two. Then I'll come down by 2.5 inches here. So these 2.5 inches, I'm just going to like from here measure out. So the wideness has to be 9 inches now. That's 18. So I'll be adding 1.5 inch and make it 10.5 inches. So it has to be excess so that by the time I put button, it will be exactly that 18. It will be exactly the 18 inches that I want. But for now, okay, we are measuring the upper part, which is 17 inches. So I'm still going to be making the same 9 or 8.5.225. But I'll make it 9. I hope you get. So from here, I'll just curve it. I miss my French curve. So now I've not added the 1.5. I need to add 1.5 to it and make it wider. So that means I have to make it wider. Like, so still I'll be stopping here. Make it wider. So that after 10.5 inches. Okay. So the down part too has to be 10.5 inches. Jesus Christ. So from here, I'll measure 3 inches for the wideness of the neck. So this neck, you can use two different methods. 3 inches. I use two different methods, but this is the method I'm using. So this is also 10.5. Okay. So I'll add stay to it. Then the next one is the pocket. So the pocket, I'm making the wideness 15 inches. Sorry, the length 15 inches. Then the wideness 9 inches. Let me see if this will be enough. So you can see, guys, I've exhausted 4 yards of clothes. So I've used all the 4 yards finisher. So I don't think 3.5 will be enough for this person's measurement. So I'm cutting out 2 pockets at a time. So I'm making the wideness. I think I'll make it 8.5 inches. I'll make it 8.5, 9. Then this 15 inches for the length. Because I love the pockets when it's deep. You know, I can put anything inside. I can put water bottle to enter inside. So that's it, guys. So this is 2 pockets at a time. So that's all for the cutting of the clothes. So mind you, I'm going to be cutting this. Oh, that's not all. For the in the sewing parts, I'll just show you the what's it called? The side. That's the neck part too. So I'll cut out just a small piece to join it. So I'm showing that in the sewing part, but for now, this is the cutting part. I'll see you all in the sewing parts. It should be popping up on your screen right now. So just click on the video and continue watching.